Alright, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, we are live in full effect right here, right now. And we got the one, the only, I would proudly like to welcome back RX the Rapper right here, live on the line. How are you doing this evening?
Hey, what's up, big homie, man? It's good to be here. You know what I'm saying? California all the way to Canada. We doing this hip-hop shit. It's worldwide, baby. Let's go.
Hey, man, most definitely. But I gotta ask this, man, because I know we got to chop it up before with 80 Empire, but I never really had the opportunity to really, for our listeners, to actually really learn more about you as a solo artist. And I gotta take you back to the beginning, bro, and ask you, like, what actually inspired you to get into this music thing initially?
There's a couple. Professionally, something different, I can tell you each one, whichever way, but initially, man, I was just a huge. So I was like 7 years old, and I think at that time we was hearing Sublime and just like kind of the rock phase, Rage Against the Machine, and I started hearing like cats like Andre Nicotina, RBL Posse, you know what I'm saying, just all types of different flavor. Cats from Long Beach, JT the Bigger Figure collabing up, excuse me, Daz, you know what I'm saying, from Long Beach. And it just switched, bro, and I fell in love with it. So that's really, I think I just became an avid fan of hip-hop. And then, I started really getting on the mic about 14, and then I got at it at the game professionally, I'd say about 19, 18. And, I took a few years off. I said, fuck it, I'm cool off this, because it was some bullshit going on, and, I wasn't working hard enough. So it's good to be back, man, in full effect. Hey, and shout out to 80 Empire, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bookie Billions, Court Digger, you know what I'm saying? Fucking Shadyville DJs, everyone, bro. Everyone showing love. It's all love.
And also as well, man, taking you back to August 26th of 2014, you actually dropped a single, Lyrical Assassin, featuring the one and only Spice One, man. I have to ask you, how did yourself and Spice One get connected? And of course, what was it like working with him, man? Because Spice is another phenomenal West Coast hip-hop legend.
Man, Spice like the coolest dude ever, bro. And he one of them cats like that be having them cool ass stories, and he not like capping. Like so, Spice was one of Tupac's favorite rappers. I think Shebo and Spice were. And Spice did a lot of things. I think he definitely doesn't get the flowers he deserves, and super humble dude. I actually on multiple occasions done been up with Spice, bumped shoulders with him. I went over where he was at living in Vegas. We even shot a video in his house. You know what I'm saying? That actually never came to fruition or to light just because of some complications that's not necessary for me to speak on, but nothing between me and Spice, just some other sucker shit, you know what I'm saying, that went down. But Spice, all the way good dude, man, just like really humble, bro. And I've noticed it's the cats like 80 Empire, the Freeway Rick Rosses, like whoever I bump shoulders with that's like really on a higher level. They treat you with respect and they're humble. People that's out here cocky and trying to boast and flex and do all this extra shit, wear 26 chains, maybe they a little bit insecure.
And I gotta say as well, man, Spice is still putting in some phenomenal work as well, man. He just actually dropped a joint called Night Rider, man, and it's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, man, you got I think his new artist Smokester too. Shout out to the real Smokester, man. Yes, sir. All love for the Bay Area, all love for California, worldwide. We out here.
And also as well, man, you were actually featured on the Emmy-nominated documentary Crack in the System soundtrack. I was wondering if you can tell our listeners a bit more about that, and of course, what was it like just taking part in that particular project?
Man, it was an honor, bro. I think I've said it a few times, it's been in a lot of different podcasts, like, and I try to stress this to any listeners that are out there that are artists and up and coming, independent, whatever, or even say you bump into a situation and you feel like, oh, now you're on. Now you can get $1 million bag in this industry, and it's a loan. You might just be a tax write-off to one of these labels. So you get $1 million, you got to go 10 times harder. So when I was in that situation at such a young age, getting opportunities like that, it became a crutch, and I was entitled, and I felt like, oh, I deserve more. So I wasn't wearing 8 hats like I'm wearing now, and I have my manager and then my other manager on my team. But we wear eight hats, bro. If you're a rapper and you really out here trying to get it, it's by any means, and it's going to be 10 hours out of every day while you're doing other shit to stay afloat and above water.
And I gotta ask as well, like, how did you actually feel when you actually found out that documentary soundtrack was actually Emmy nominated, man? Like, were you actually a part of like the Emmy nomination? Like, were you part of the credits for that, or was that just for the main individuals?
So the actual soundtrack did not play in the movie, but what it did is it was released under Rick Ross Music Group. We were a subsidiary of Universal, and so yeah, it was me and Crooked Eye on there. Recognize, shout out to Recognize, the homie Adamant, and yeah, it was basically the official soundtrack, but it did not play to the actual film.
And also as well, man, you were actually featured on the album Hockey Masks and Body Shots Part 2 on the song The Days. I was wondering, how did that opportunity come to be for you? And of course, what was it like working on that particular record? Sorry.
Oh yeah. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Juice. Definitely, bro. All love the all Bay music. Everybody out there grinding in the Bay Area. Man, bro, it just reached out to me. Actually, I did a song with AD Empire. It was Take It Back one. Excuse me for a second. Just get some water. So I guess he had actually mutually known. You know, this business is 7 degrees of separation. You know, so he knew Nicole Monet, and yeah, I guess through that connection, he wound up reaching out to me and said, "Oh, you know, I'm from your neck of the woods in the Bay Area, and man, let's get to work." So I popped up on him, and yeah, put the record together, man. I think in what 30 minutes.
I'd say, man, that's most definitely some speedy work. And I have to ask, man, just pertaining to that record, like, where can our listeners actually check that out if they haven't done so already? I know a lot of stuff, man, is really like Spotify and whatnot nowadays, but I do know some individuals, they like either Bandcamp or they just like to sell their hard copies.
Yeah, so the best way to just find everything for me is going to be in one link. It's going to be all in the link tree. Or just go to Google and just type in RX the Rapper with no spaces. It's RX Rapper, no spaces. And yeah, you'll find me everywhere. Spotify, you know, up in blogs like The Word is Bond. Shout out to the homie Texzilla. So yeah, man, we definitely are growing. We're exponentially growing, and we're just trying to stay on the path.
And also as well, man, you actually released a single titled "Just for Today," which is my personal favorite release by you. I was wondering if you can tell our listeners a story behind that just inspirational song, man. Like, what was the creative process behind that phenomenal joint?
You know, man, it's funny. It's like that record because it's kind of like it's dark. So I speak a little bit, you know, like kind of like a COVID feel. Like I'm on my own. I'm reminiscing. I'm talking about smoking blunts and catching up with the homies and like freestyling. It's just kind of the old days and then I touched a little bit on, you know, how my mom committed suicide when I was like a young man, and it's just a little bit of everything, and then it kind of transitions to the second verse of where I'm like, yo, now I'm in a penthouse on the top floor, and, you know, basically just stating in that song that, like, even if it's fucked up, no matter how fucked up your life is, we all go through shit. For today, though, it can be okay. And that's the thing is, I think that held me back for a lot of years. I think a lot of people have this fake confidence, right? But you know, for me it was like I was always 90-10, 80-20. Like I believed in myself, but I would listen to negative thoughts in my head. That said, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. This year, I don't know what happened. It was around January. I just really had a switch. I don't want to say a spiritual awakening, but just like a switch. So everyone just is going to get negative thoughts, but I don't listen to them. You know what I'm saying? I take it with a grain of salt, and I understand that the mind is a very powerful thing, and you can accomplish whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? If you're willing to do the work, you can change your whole life in 6 months.
And I gotta say, man, I still love that. I still love that phenomenal joint, man. I gotta say, you did absolutely great on that, man. Most definitely one of the most inspirational hip hop artists of today, man. There's way too much, you know, skinny jean bullshit nowadays, man. But you most definitely keep it 100% real, man. I even saw a video on your Instagram, man, of you actually rapping over top of yourself laying in a hospital bed. I don't know how you did those visuals, man, but they were on point and definitely on key.
Yeah, shout out to Fallout Entertainment. So they actually shoot. So that's a little place in Burbank, and it's like a Hollywood, kind of like a studio, a movie studio. So they got one room where it's like a bar, then there's a room on the other side, it's like jail cell, fake jail cells, fake hospital room. And then they actually CGI 2 scenes of me, like, looking at myself. So that was actually definitely a chilling moment. And, you know, it's like that type of record, that's why, you know, when you bring up the Just for the Days and those, I mean, these are records that are, like, you know, a year old. Maybe I sat on them for a while. I got some great stuff coming for y'all this year. I mean, the stuff that I'm dropping this year is just, like, way more, you know, I'm always evolving as an artist. I think when you think you're too good to not get better, then you're going to plateau and just stay where you're at. But I'm always recreating, you know, what I'm doing, and especially lately I've been putting a lot of stuff just on, like, Instagram, for instance, of me just kind of having people check into what I'm doing in the studio, right? Because I'm a perfectionist. I'm someone that's always thought if I'm going to put something out, it has to really mean something. We don't put out records for no reason, right? But everything I've been sitting on kind of for the past year and putting together, and the stuff I got coming with 80 Empire, you know, we got our album coming, you know, very soon, I'll tell you that much. And we have a joint coming with Chino XL this month. So shout out to the homie Chino XL. Definitely a legend. And, yeah, man, it's just, it's going to be a real different year for RX, and I just want to, you know, appreciate and give a shout out to everyone that's supported what we've been doing. So.
And also as well, man, on May 31st of this year, you actually released the single for the promo Ease, man. I was wondering, what is the story and inspiration behind that single? And of course, where can our listeners actually check that out? Because I got to say, that's only about a week old, man. That's definitely some hot off the press music.
Oh, the Easy joint. I'm sorry, I actually didn't hear you on that one. But you said the Easy joint.
Yes, sorry, Easy, yes.
Yeah. So that's just a promo joint. You know, and I probably may at some point go back out and monetize that, but I figured I'd just get a little bit of content out in the meantime to this crazy single that's coming. And yeah, man, you know, it's just it's all in the archives. I got probably 1,000 records and probably more than that people have not had the chance to hear. And you know, at some point, hopefully by next year, I think after I've really launched and been where I want to be at, I'm gonna do a lot of, you know, old RX tapes and kind of go back into the archives and get the nostalgia. Because RX, you know, it's like, I think as musicians we adapt like a persona, I guess, if you will. And you know, so I had Ray Shulman, which is my name, right, who I was always. And then since I was a little 10-year-old kid, I started becoming more towards RX, smoking weed and doing crazy shit and wilding out. So yeah, it's definitely yeah, man, it's a lot coming, bro, and it's a lot of that I'm touching on. You know, in these new records, especially on Life After Life, like our first single, Uno. Shout out to Sam Quinn, is on there, killed it. That's a whole vibe. It's a lot more like less serious. You know, it's just kind of, it was a springtime record. Now we're gonna get to dropping that real shit. You know what I'm saying? That's really gonna resonate with people because it's very authentic. So.
And also, man, on IMDb, I actually saw that you're going to be in a project titled All Terrain that is actually set to release sometime next year in 2022. And I was wondering, what can our listeners expect from this up and coming release? And of course, like, you know, what exactly is All Terrain? I know you probably can't let too many cats out of the bag because by the sounds of it, it's really early on. But from what you can tell us, what is this project going to be like?
Well, you know, yeah, as far as that, I was actually a pretty small feature in the film. I'd say I'm probably on camera for maybe 1 to 2 minutes. But that was actually me just getting into acting just slightly. At one point, you know, I had actually been broke 1 month, and I said, fuck it, let me get on here on Craigslist and look for some acting gigs. And so I wound up running into Dude, and it was just an extra piece, you know, on the side, like no credit, nothing like that. And you don't really want to bug a director. I mean, I'm sure you know this, but, you know, for the people, if you're in the industry, you don't, someone that's running the show and they got something that they have their money and their time invested to, they don't want to talk to somebody about what their shit is. You don't want to come out with your hand out. So I gave my 10-second little elevator pitch and said, hey, I'm this person, this, that, and would love to chat with you later. And I guess he just caught my energy, and he was like, hey, bro, you. And he switched me out with the other dude. And I felt bad for the guy because I could see in his face he was mad as hell. He was like, man, this motherfucker just took my role. I didn't do it on purpose, though, man. So shout out to bro. Hope it's going well with the acting career.
Hey, man, you know what? It sounds bad, man. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, like they say, that's show business, man. Sometimes shit happens, and it happens for a reason, man. You know what I mean? It sounds bad. You know, that sucks for that guy, but, you know, it is what it is. Everything in life happens for a reason. Right place at the right time for you.
We are right where we are supposed to be at all times, whether you're in a dark place, which I've definitely been in a lot throughout my life, or you're in the best place you could possibly imagine. You're right where you're supposed to be. And you know what? Anyone that doesn't believe in God, because I'm not a religious person, that's listening, man, just add an O to God, and you got good, orderly direction. Be a good human being, and things will work out good for you.
And also as well, man, so aside from All Terrain and of course the album you got cooking up there with that 80 Empire, what is next for yourself, man? Is there anything I happen to miss? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote with stuff you here live on the Canadian airwaves?
You know, I'm hoping we could follow back next quarter, because for this quarter I'm really focused on what I'm doing with 80 Empire. We're going to probably be riding this project going for at least a year. It's that incredible. But yeah, I definitely have, I'd say, 3 EPs and one album that'll all be dropping within the next year. So definitely, as far as music-wise, can't speak on it. I don't want to get in trouble by my team. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so we definitely got a lot of music. We got some situations bubbling, situations that are looking really good, and yeah, we're humbled, and we're working harder every day. So just got to get it, however you can get it.
And also, so this is the time of the interview, man, that I give a chance for the individual that slides into the radio station airwaves. Just a chance to give shout-outs to whomever they want to give shout-outs to. But most of all, man, your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on everything you got going on this year come 2021.
No doubt, man. Yeah, so it's actually everything. I finally simplified it. Because, I've always been bad with the social media, but you can find me at RX the Rapper. So just RXTHERAPPER, and that's all one word together, no spaces in between those words. Everywhere, every platform, you will find it like that. I have a lot of older stuff that's just RX, but just RX the Rapper. You'll find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, any of those platforms, Spotify, SoundCloud, you name it, we there.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, man, thank you so much for just taking the time out of your busy evening once again and sliding into the 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM airwaves. It was an honor and most definitely a privilege, man, and hopefully next quarter we can make this happen again.
Most definitely, brother. We'll stay in touch, man, and yeah, definitely an honor and a privilege, homie.
Hey, most definitely, man. You are most certainly welcome, and we definitely will stay in touch, man. Anything you need, don't hesitate to reach out. We here in Canada most definitely got your back.
Likewise, bro. Big shout out to Canada, man. I love all the shit y'all doing, man, especially with battle rap. Keep the shit going. Yeah.
Most definitely, man. Have yourself a great night. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.